silenced by the state. Candidates' bank frozen amid alarming allegations involving top liberals. As we approach what could be one of the most heated debate showdowns of the election, the political landscape in Canada is charged with tension and controversy. The French-language debate is set for April 16th, followed by the English-language debate on April 17th. This is the moment when Canadians will witness candidates go head-to-head, and anticipation is building to a fever pitch. With Bloc Québécois leader Yves-François Blanchet already taking swings at Liberal leader Mark Carney and Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre gearing up to deliver his usual sharp jabs, the debates promise to be a critical moment in the campaign. Poilievre currently holds the lead, and the focus is on maintaining that momentum while the Liberals struggle to regain footing. However, amidst the pre-debate excitement, alarming developments are unfolding that raise serious questions about the state of democracy in Canada. Megan Murphy, a candidate for the People's Party of Canada, PPC, in Vancouver East, has had her bank account frozen by the government. This shocking action occurred just as her candidacy was confirmed, and it raises significant concerns about political repression. Murphy's account was locked without warning, explanation, or due process, highlighting a troubling trend of financial blacklisting based on political beliefs. Murphy has expressed that she anticipated such retaliation due to her outspoken criticism of COVID-19 mandates and gender ideology. After leaving Canada in 2021, she returned to run in the election, only to find her financial access abruptly cut off. This situation is not just about one individual. It reflects a broader pattern of silencing dissenting voices in Canada. The question arises, how many protests, even violent ones, have occurred recently without similar repercussions for those involved? The answer is none, suggesting that the government's actions are not about public safety, but rather about quelling opposition. The implications of freezing a candidate's bank account are profound. It not only disrupts an individual's ability to fund their campaign, but also sends a chilling message to others who may wish to challenge the status quo. This act serves as a warning. Speak out against the government, and you risk losing access to your financial resources. Such tactics erode trust in democratic institutions and foster an atmosphere of fear and compliance among potential dissenters. This chilling atmosphere has not gone unnoticed by other candidates and political observers. Many are concerned that Murphy's situation is part of a larger strategy employed by the current government to intimidate those who hold dissenting views. The freezing of bank accounts is not merely a financial action. It is a political weapon that can silence voices and deter potential candidates from entering the political arena. This kind of repression raises alarm bells for anyone who values democratic principles and the right to free expression. The situation is further complicated by reports of surveillance and misuse of power within law enforcement. Retired Vancouver police officer Paul McNamara discovered that spyware had been used on his phone during a private conversation with an RCMP officer. This invasive technology, typically associated with authoritarian regimes, has been deployed against citizens in Canada, raising alarms about civil liberties under the current Liberal leadership. The use of such spyware highlights a disturbing intersection of technology and state power, where the government monitors its citizens, even those who are not suspects, in a bid to suppress dissent. The implications of this kind of surveillance are deeply troubling. It not only violates personal privacy, but also creates an environment where individuals may self-censor out of fear of being monitored. The chilling effect of such government actions can stifle open dialogue and public debate, essential components of a healthy democracy. The fear of surveillance can deter even the most passionate advocates for change from speaking out, knowing they might be watched or targeted for their beliefs. A group of former police officers has even penned an open letter to Prime Minister Mark Carney, calling out various ministers for their failures, including the misuse of spyware and the neglect of charter rights. This letter underscores the growing discontent among those who once upheld the law, now feeling threatened by the very institutions they served. The officers' concerns resonate with a broader public anxiety about government overreach and the erosion of civil liberties. As they speak out, they are not just defending their own rights, but also advocating for the rights of all Canadians who may find themselves targeted for their beliefs. In the midst of these controversies, Carney has been criticized for his evasive responses to pressing issues. When questioned about Poilievre's proposal to use the notwithstanding clause to enhance accountability within the justice system, Carney dismissed it as a slippery slope. Yet, when addressing gun violence, he quickly pivoted to blame legal gun owners, ignoring the fact that most gun crimes are committed with illegal weapons. This inconsistency raises questions about the government's commitment to addressing the root causes of crime while simultaneously deflecting blame onto law-abiding citizens. The debates themselves are expected to be a battleground for these contentious issues. Candidates will need to articulate their visions for Canada while navigating the charged atmosphere surrounding allegations of government overreach and repression. Poilievre, known for his confrontational style, will likely capitalize on these developments to paint the Liberals as authoritarian and out of touch with the concerns of ordinary Canadians. He has positioned himself as a champion of individual rights, drawing a stark contrast to the governing party's approach to dissent. Meanwhile, Carney will need to defend his party's record while addressing the very real fears that citizens have regarding their rights and freedoms. What makes this election particularly critical is the backdrop of recent protests and civil unrest in Canada. Many citizens have taken to the streets to voice their concerns over government policies, particularly regarding public health mandates and social issues. These protests have often been met with a heavy-handed response from law enforcement, raising further questions about the government's respect for the right to assemble and protest. Such events have created a palpable sense of urgency among voters as they contemplate the implications of their choices at the polls. The election is not merely a contest of policies, but a referendum on the direction Canada is headed. Are Canadians willing to accept a government that utilizes its power to silence dissent? A government that freezes bank accounts without trial and spies on critics, including former police officers? Or do they desire a leadership that respects individual rights, minimizes its interference in personal lives, and restores a sense of justice and accountability? As voters head to the polls, they must consider the implications of their choices. The rising tide of authoritarianism and the chilling effects of political repression are not just abstract concepts, they are realities that many Canadians are now facing. The stakes have never been higher, and the outcome of this election will shape the future of democracy in Canada for years to come. Voting is now open. It's time to make your choice. Will you support a government that prioritizes power over the rights of its citizens, or will you stand for a vision of Canada that champions freedom, accountability, and respect for all? The decision lies in the hands of the electorate, and now is the time to voice your values through your vote. The very essence of Canadian democracy hangs in the balance, and each vote carries the weight of a future that could either uphold the principles of freedom or veer toward an unsettling reality of repression.